Early Friday morning, we got some information as to why all of a sudden Ubisoft, a week prior, decided to halt all trading. They delayed their financial report, with a lot of people trying to connect the dots out there by going, oh, okay, cool, looks like somebody's finally taken over, huh? Well, in actuality, no. The reason that they delayed their financial report is because they were doing so good, guys. Trust us, okay? But don't take a look at our track record. Don't take a look at all of the games that we have released in the past couple of years and how they've been tremendous flops. Actually, we're doing better than ever, which is kind of interesting because the only thing of note that has happened in the realm of finances for Ubisoft is, well, you kind of sold off a giant share of your most successful IPs, leaving the rest of your company to languish, to just simply be bought up at a later date at a reduced cost. But yeah, go ahead and try to float this idea that you guys are doing better than you ever have, and trust us, that little delay, it was just simply a glitch in the system. We fixed the glitch. All right, cool. What did you fix it with? Lies and deceit. Oh, I'm sorry, getting a little bit ahead of myself. But Ubisoft's financials are in, and they are a soaring success in the latest report. Ubisoft has published its first half of the financial year 2026 report that was delayed a few days back, revealing that the company is in a pretty good place after a better than expected result over the last few months. What? How? That makes no sense whatsoever. In the data, growth was recorded year over year in every category, from player investment to back catalog sales. Okay, maybe that's what it is. It's kind of like the comic industry, okay? Nobody buys the new stuff, but they go back and they buy old, back catalog. Maybe people are just, like really hyped about Assassin's Creed, but just not Shadows, but they're like really trying to go back, and it's like, what made this a franchise to begin with? And they're out there playing 2, and it's assorted games. They're checking out 3 after they heard that it wasn't that great, but you know what, on a second look, maybe things will be better. Or maybe that they're just simply, ramping up in anticipation because they want to go back and see what made Black Flag so successful, because I would imagine here in a couple of weeks, and especially with the Game Awards coming up, we'll probably get an announcement that yes, the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake is set to launch before the end of the first quarter. So yeah, it's going to be coming out very early, and like I've said before in different videos, okay, that the Game Awards this year is going to be huge. I'm not even a big fan of Jeff Keighley. The Dorito Pope makes me sick to my stomach, and I think that it's going to be a super cringy event. But taking a look at some of those nominations, and indie games are going to be taking the spotlight, and there's going to be some very good games being aptly rewarded. It might actually be something to take a look at this time around and actually pay attention to. But even still, with the GTA 6 being pushed off from May and then going off to November, everybody and their mother, okay, in the gaming industry is going to be trying to get their stuff out as quickly as humanly possible, including Ubisoft. But they are definitely motivated in order to get Black Flag. I would say probably the last universally praised Assassin's Creed entry. Everything else has, come with a bit of a caveat. Well, you kind of have to like these games if you like some of the newer reboot stuff. And yeah, eventually Unity became a good game. But yeah, okay, Black Flag was the last one that came out, and it's like, oh shit, it's pirates and assassins, and that ship combat is like really good on top of the assassins combats being really great. So yeah, them remaking this totally makes sense. It's been a rumor for a while, but yeah, Assassin's Creed Black Flag Remake is one of the most talked about games within the Ubisoft machine, but until now it has been formally acknowledged by the company. However, Insider Gaming has covered the game extensively over the past 18 months and has learned that it is set to launch before March 31st, 2026. And like I said, we are very likely to hear something about that on December 11th at the Game Awards. But going back to the financial reports, okay, because apparently Ubisoft's doing well because of Tencent money. Let's keep it a buck. That's exactly what this is. The financial report was pretty glowing for Ubisoft, and it was laced with positivity. Yes, of course, like of the HIV variety, I'm sure. Year over year, Ubisoft's net bookings and first half financial years increased 20%, soaring to 772 million euros. Digital revenues made up a huge chunk of that, with the vertical also seeing a 30% increase. The shining gem was player recurring investment, which soared 52% in the first half of 2026. Okay. In a statement, Ubisoft confirmed outperformance driven by stronger than expected partnerships, Tencent calling, demonstrating the power of attractiveness of the group's portfolio. There it is. Vantage Studios, as well as a meaningful contribution from a live TV and animated series. Oh my god, that Splinter Cell slop production, and also I guess this probably has something to do with it because of Far Cry TV series in development at FX. Okay, so you're getting some of that Disney money out there to make a Far Cry series. But yeah, at one point in time, okay, just simply in a vacuum, like a Far Cry series, that could be cool, especially if they, I don't know, if they do something so bold and brazen as, I don't know, just the obvious pick of adapting Far Cry 3 and making the character of Voss more publicly aware. That would be cool as hell. But then you take a look at the people who are going to be working on this, and you can just go ahead and shelve any type of enthusiasm. Live-action Far Cry TV series has been officially announced for FX. Furthermore, as rumors suggest, the brains behind... anytime that I hear the brains behind Alien Earth, I just have to go ahead and pause and reflect. That was one of the dumbest shows that just came out in the past, month, and nobody talks about it. Anybody who was defending the show simply turned on it, if not in the past, or in the last few episodes, but definitely by the finale. So yeah, if Noah Hawley, yeah, he's gonna be working on this. It's done. It's cooked. It can't even offset somebody who, Rob Mack worked on, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which, oh god, you're just gonna have goofy, jokey Far Cry. Oh, that's gonna be the fucking worst. But I guess that contributed to Ubisoft's super successful half year, guys, right? It was noted that Assassin's Creed overperformed this year. Oh, really? Confirming positive momentum, which is, that's interesting, right? Because we also got another update that's out there in regards to Assassin's Creed, where Assassin's Creed Mirage hits 10 million players. But how many players did Assassin's Creed Shadows hit? Well, okay. Because in the subsequent days, over the past weekend, we got a little bit of an update. Okay, so Ubisoft hasn't exploded or been bought by Tencent. Its finances were delayed because of math nerds. AC Shadows is overperforming, and it's got one upcoming game you don't know about. Yeah. But I find this very interesting because this is from the official PC Gamer account on Twitter, and even they go, sure, they aren't buying your shit because here's the big thing. Assassin's Creed Shadows and Attack on Titan crossover. What the fuck, man? Now listen, I do like me some Attack on Titan. I used to like me some Assassin's Creed. Thinking that those two properties could cross over, I mean, years back for like Assassin's Creed 3, it could have worked because I think both franchises were going at the time, but it's been a couple of years since Attack on Titan very controversially, and I would say very poorly wrapped up. And to try to rebrand Naue as Mikasa, like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? But yes, Assassin's Creed Shadows and Attack on Titan crossover is live with title update 1.16. However, the quest is only available for a limited time until December 22nd, 2025. Okay, so anything that could be potentially cool about this is already time gated. Nobody's fucking playing the game anyways. Actually, let's see if this has spurned interest. Yeah, I've got the Steam numbers pulled up here because that's obviously the only ones that we can get. And yeah, over the past weekend, 3,000 people checked in on the game, which is half as popular as it was a couple of weeks back, and 60% as popular as it was last weekend. So, yeah, not exactly doing big business out there. And I'm sure that licensing probably wasn't cheap. Okay, but yeah, if that's one of the things that they didn't even know about, because we know the next Assassin's Creed game that's coming out, the Feminist Witches of the Salem Trials, I'm sure that's going to be fan-fucking-tastic. But yes, PC Gamer's article, checking it out here, okay. The byline, all that sound and fury signified nothing, it turned out. Yeah. So last week, Ubisoft delayed its quarterly financial report and called a temporary halt to trading in its stocks. The internet immediately did what it does best, descended into wild and frenzied speculation. Talking about, the different companies, EA being snatched up by the Saudis, Microsoft and their foibles, which, we're going to be talking about, I think, over the weekend. Oh, and a little bit of housekeeping before I forget. Throughout the rest of the week, one video a day, and then starting off on Saturday, we're going to be going back to 3. Oh no, wait, we got 4 videos throughout the end of the year. So yes, ramping all the way back up, and hopefully get the redesign finalized. I've been kicking around some ideas, but honestly, these past couple of months have been absolutely insane for me, and now things are starting to tamp down just a little bit. But yes, back to this, because speculation around Ubisoft has been running rampant for, a couple of years at this point in time. 2024 was absolutely cancerous for them, and yes, 2025 was in fact the syphilis-riddled candle on top of that dilapidated cake. So yeah, speculation gave way, or rather failure gave way to speculation, because that's about the only thing that you can competently associate with a current Ubisoft. But yes, when they come out and say, oh no, it's all great. Yes, but stand down, folks. Ubisoft delayed financial report. It took place earlier this year, and it turns out it was all hullabaloo per company big boss Yves Guillemot, who perhaps is the most boring reason imaginable. We appointed a new panel of auditors that approved at, yes, the annual general meeting last July. So then that ends up delaying at the last second your financial report in November. Okay, so in essence, Ubisoft's new numbers guy decided that revenues from one of its partnerships from the fiscal year before this one needed to be recognized in a different way. Oh, okay, so it's not even like they're doing better, they're just cooking the books. Classic Ubisoft. The long and short of the process is that a new way of recognizing those revenues meant the company suddenly overshot a covenant on how much net debt to core profit it's meant to maintain, and it had to quickly fork over 286 million euros to pay off some outstanding loans to get the ratio back down. So yeah, they're out there lying about the numbers. PC Gamer is going ahead and just blowing up their cover story. And long story short, the follies, the foibles, and the failures of Ubisoft is going to carry over into 2026, and there is no delaying on that one. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.